everybody, it's Dan, your friendly fishmonger at dansfish.com, where we're on a mission to humanely source, maintain, and transport aquarium fish to our customers. Today is all about plecos. We're going to do health checks. Every few weeks we take a close look at our plecos. We dig into the tanks, we get them in the net, we check their bellies, we check their fins, we check their eyes. We make sure everyone's doing okay. So that's what we're doing today. We have over 25 species of plecos to show you, a whole lot of hypensistrus species, some cactus plecos, a rubber-nosed pleco, some various ancistrus, and some pedunculus. So let's get to it. So as we're looking at these pleco tanks, you'll see a theme. We set them up very simply. Basically an air stone with a lot of volume. We like it nice and roiling because most plecos come from fast flowing rivers and really appreciate some water movement and high oxygen saturation in their aquariums. Then you'll notice pipes. You'll probably notice a plate flipped upside down. That's so that the plecos can get under the plate and hang out under there if they want. You'll notice wood, even in our hypensistrus tanks. Yes, I know hypensistrus are meat eaters, but they still graze on the wood, especially when they're younger. They like to graze on the wood. The biofilm in the wood will kind of be something they can chew on between meals. The last thing you'll notice is a bunch of forks. We stick zucchini on forks and put them in the aquarium. The plecos eat the zucchini and then the forks left. And every now and then we go through and collect the forks up and start the cycle again. We even give zucchini to our meat eaters. The hypensistrus get zucchini as well. Not all the time, but we do use it as a supplement to their diet occasionally. When they're older, they don't eat it as much. But when they're new, young, little juveniles, especially when they're freshly imported, it's important to have some zucchini in there for them to chew on between meals. So that's some stuff you'll probably notice. That's our basic pleco setup, and it works for all the different types of plecos that we have. So a lot of the plecos we're looking at today are pretty pricey. Hypensistrus and cactus plecos, they carry a hefty price tag in general. So let's look at some cheaper ones. Not every pleco needs to break the bank. Rubber-nosed plecos are cheap and really cool. There's a lot of neat bushy nose out there. And clown plecos, they're delightful. Let's take a look. These are rubber-nosed plecos. I don't know if you can see all the spots on this guy. They're pretty neat fish though. Nice spotted fish, clear eyes, good fins. Let's get them out and check their belly. These guys are interesting. They have like the biggest mouth of any pleco, I think. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but look at that. They're just built different, totally different genus, but look at this. Look at that mouth. It's huge. Belly's good, so this is a good looking fish. But look, can you see that thing? These are just your standard bushy nose pleco. I think that's a female because I don't see any bristles on her face, but okay, she's doing us a favor. We don't even need the net hardly. Did you see how good her belly was? Nice fat belly, fins and eyes are clear, good looking healthy fish. Okay, here's another ancistrus species. These, we don't know exactly what they are. They're a fine spotted species, similar kind of to like a 181, maybe. They're not hybrids because, well, at least not an aquarium hybrid because they are from the wild. So this is a wild population of some kind. See those? I don't know if the fine spots are showing up. There's spots all over the belly. Fine spots on the fin, fine spots on the body. I just got a good look at the belly while it was up on the glass, so I can tell it's a good looking fish as far as health goes. Yeah, look at that big belly. Eyes are clear, fins are clear, so I think we're good on that. But we've had some folks take a look at this to see if they could identify it for us, and no one can. We even had like a professional ichthyologist who specializes in plecos take a look, and they can't tell us. So don't know what it is exactly. We're calling them fine spot ancistrus or fine spot pleco. So all the plecos we're looking at today are available at dansfish.com. If you're in the market for a pleco, check us out. Okay, this is a group of super reds. They're still in quarantine, so I'm actually not going to get my hands in there. They're little. Well, these are not adults by any means, but they're looking good. They've got another few days in quarantine. They're almost out, but we try to avoid getting our hands in tanks during quarantine unless we absolutely have to, just because we don't want to get something on our hands and then, get our hands in another tank and spread it around if there's a problem. No problem I can see with these guys. The batch is doing fantastic. Little super red ancistrus, little bushy nose. Okay, here is perhaps the newest, maybe one of the newest morphs of the bushy nose clan. So these are the snow white bushy noses. Oh, you're on the glass. Perfect. Nice belly. Look at that. Nice clear eyes, clear fins, clear belly. That's all we needed to see. These guys look great. Another great starter pleco if you want to get into some of the fancier plecos but don't want to break your bank while you're first, trying them out, is this. This is the clown pleco. It's a Pinoculus type species. They love to chew on wood. Look at those guys. A whole bunch of them there. These are one of the easiest, coolest little plecos you could ever start with. Okay, eyes look good. Fins look good. Let's check some bellies. Remind me of like a 397 Allen Keir with less orange. Okay, that belly looks good. Clown plecos are so cute. They curl their tail to make them a little wider if a predator is trying to eat them. It's the only pleco I know of that does that. I'm a heretic when it comes to the temperature that I keep my plecos at. Every pleco you're seeing here today is kept at 79 degrees. I've kept every pleco I've ever kept at about 79 degrees. It works for Hypensistris, works for the cactus plecos, all the different plecos we keep. Now, I know a lot of people keep their Hypensistris at higher temperatures, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just all my tanks are on a massive flow-through system, so I can't change the temperature. I'm happy to report, though, that I've kept plecos, many different kinds of Hypensistris and others, at 79 degrees long term, and they thrive. They're fat, they're sassy, they're healthy, they're doing fine for me. I think in nature, in the wild, I think there's more temperature fluctuation in their habitats than we give them credit for, and so they can adapt to 79 degrees just fine. Now, if you want to keep yours at 84 degrees or whatever, like a lot of Hypensistris folks, 82 degrees, go ahead. I'm not telling you how you should do it. I'm just telling you, we keep ours at 79. We do that long term, and they do just fine. So don't let high temperature needs scare you away. Most of the Hypensistris we're gonna see today grow to between 4 to 6 inches. Really good when you think of the old common plecos that used to be everywhere. Those things get like 18 inches plus. Way too big for your normal tank, and they create a lot of mess. But these 4 to 6 inch species, very manageable for most aquarists. Some of them stay even smaller though. The L174 Ocelot pleco, the L471 Mini Snowball pleco, and the smallest of them all, the L280 Spiny pleco, all stay 2 to 2.5 inches or so. Let's take a look at those little guys. Okay, I'm really excited to show you these. These are one of my favorites. These are the little L174 Ocelots. One of the smallest Hypensistris out there. Those with the mini snowballs, the 471s, and the 280s, the spiny plecos. They're some of the smallest little kind of fancy type plecos you can get. Look at how cool these are. So these fish are very, very rare in the hobby, and the reason is they come from one tiny little place in a river that is very deep. Look at those guys. And very fast flowing. It's like super deep river with high current. So imagine trying to collect those. If you have to dive down to get them, and it's super dangerous just because of how high the current is. So look at the belly on that guy in the glass. Like, I don't even have to mess with him. Look how fat that is. It's exactly what we're looking for. Nice fat bellies, good patterns, good eyes, good fins. I couldn't be happier. They're called the Ocelot because, like an Aussie cat, nice spots on them. Little miniature dwarfs, but big personalities. These are another miniature fish. This is the L471 Mini Snowball Pleco. It looks a lot like a 201, the normal snowball pleco, but it stays small. One of the things about this species is there's been many an unsuspecting person who has bought L471s only to find out that they grew huge, that they were actually 201s, which is a shame because the L471 is much more rare, much more expensive, and you buy some, you grow them out for a year or whatever, and now you've got a fish that's way too big. It's like, shoot, I didn't get what I paid for. I have a great breeder of these. I've been using this guy for years now. So I know these are actually L471s and not L201s. These are the true mini snowball plecos, and they look so cool. Nice miniature Hypensistris. Eyes are looking great. Fins are looking great. Nice fat bellies. That's what we're looking for right there. All right, there you go. L471 mini snowball plecos, like prime specimens. You don't get better than those. Okay, I used to think that the L471 and the L174, the mini snowball and the Ocelot plecos, were the smallest of kind of the fancy type plecos. But then I came across this one. This is the L280 spiny pleco. I think I only have 2 of them left.
they're tiny.
Just a tiny little miniature pleco, so tiny that I'm not real comfortable handling it. But it's on the glass there. I can see a nice full belly. This one looks good too on the back, so I'm not going to do any more than that. Anyway, L280, tiny little Hypencistrus. If you want fancy plecos that stay small, the 280s, the 174s, and the 471s are the way to go. So let's talk about diet. What do we feed our plecos? Well, we talked about zucchini earlier. We talked about having some wood in the tanks for them to chew on earlier. For the Hypencistrus and other carnivores, we feed meaty foods. So we like Hikari Massivore Delight pellets because they're meaty and they're water stable. You can put one of those in the tank and it won't like turn into nasty powder. It'll stay stable for several hours while the plecos eat on it. For more veggie-oriented plecostomus, we feed some kind of algae wafer. Right now it's extreme, what is it called? Catfish scratcher, I think. It's got a lot of algae and veggie matter in it, some protein as well. We feed frozen bloodworms to our carnivorous plecos, especially when they're newly imported and still transitioning to other foods. But the main thing are those pellets, veggie pellets for veggie eaters, protein pellets for protein eaters, mixing it up with some zucchini and some frozen foods on occasion. We found that that works just great for all of our plecos. Whew. Well, that's done. Talk about pleco overload. Thanks for keeping me company while I did the health checks. It's kind of cool to see these little guys. There's some of them I haven't actually seen in a little while, and they put on good size and weight, which is always fantastic. It's fun to watch your little fishies grow up. Anyway, thanks for being here. We're going to roll the end screen. We'll see you next time. Hey everyone, it's Dan. If you want to learn more about aquarium fish, we do a live stream every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Dan's Fish YouTube channel. If you're in the market for aquarium fish, check us out at dansfish.com. We ship to the US and parts of Canada. And if you want something fishy to wear, we've got merch. Till next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.